Welcome back, Poker X Factor, to part 2 of Below Above in the 100 Rebuy on Pokerstars. This is where we left off, where we folded nines to a single raise, and it ended up being a cooler. We were right with our read as far as the under the gun 4x from the random, and we're happy that he got chips because he's been slowly leaking chips to us, so hopefully we can get him to continue leaking chips to us. We'll move forward a few hands with the ace-9 of hearts in the cutoff. Standard raise. If DVC were to shove, we would have called. Things get interesting if one of the other two players re-raises, but we end up having no resistance. So we're fold ahead. Blinds are now 250, 500. And we have 16,000. So we have 32 big blinds. Probably right around average, maybe a little below average. At this table, we have plenty of people who cover us. We have a guy with 3 big blinds who's open for a min raise. This is actually a pretty good spot to isolate if it folds to us. We can make it as small as 1,500 if we wanted to. But we'll make it 1,885. Just hope this guy isn't paying attention to how small this guy is. And he actually has a hand, and we lose. We're just trying to get it in with 2 suited live cards. There's going to be times where this guy shows up with the 7-8 suited or the 8-9 suited or something along those lines. We're going to be ahead with our queen high. And considering we just have to get through the big blind and the extra 950 that's in the pot, it's a pretty good price for us to try and isolate here, which is what we do. And unfortunately it fails. So move forward ahead a few hands. We got the ace-10 in the small blind. This is a fairly easy call for us. We have 26 big blinds to start the hand, 27 big blinds, somewhere around there. We're not raise folding ace-10 blind versus blind, so it's time where it's up to us to flip well. The fact that he just jammed, his range leans more towards small pairs or a king-queen, king-jack, worse aces, possibly ace-jack, which we'd be in trouble versus. But I think ace-queen, ace-king, jacks through aces, 10s, he's going to be inducing. So making a 3-bet to try and get us to 4-bet shove light. So pretty easy call. And we're just going to turn a wheel and hold. And now we got a big stack. Fold 10-8. We fold quite a few hands, so we're just going to skip ahead to our big blind. We got the 7-8 suited. Now here, this is a hand where we had the situation earlier with the queen-jack, where we checked behind when Stoff limped. But now we got the 7-8 suited, but we're a lot deeper now. We're 50 blinds effective, and it's time to put some pressure on in position, and he just folds like we half expect him to. Now from under the gun +1, this guy 4X's it. This is a trick that I use a lot of the time when I don't want to get called, when I don't want someone to see that I'm all in. I use it more in turbos. Make a 3.5 times the big blind raise, or a 4X or a 5X. just so they don't realize they have 10 big blinds. We have fours. It actually doesn't play terribly well versus range, but it's also not a bad spot to flip it up for his 10 big blinds. We know we're going to be flipping versus the majority of his range. He could have deuces or threes or ace 2, ace 3, ace 4 suited. But we're going to try and shut out the big blind here and likely just jam. And we're up versus 2 Broadway cards, which is pretty much what we expected. And we just have to flip well, which we do. Which is always nice. Now we have ace 6 in the cutoff here. This guy doesn't have enough chips to try and 3-bet him with a blocker. We're just going to fold, obviously. Pretty simple fold. Now the table's gotten a little tougher. There's Doritos and D. Peters have both joined us. D. Peters has a boatload of chips and is getting even more, which is never good for the rest of the people in the tournament. So while we had control of the table, for the most part, we're now going to see things get tougher. We steal the blinds with the queen 8. Pretty standard. Moving forward a couple hands. The queen 10 out of the gun. Some tables I would open this with 60 big blinds. But with the stacks behind us and Doritos and D. Peters who like to 3-bet a lot. Fresh is a regular and he's got 18 big blinds. It's just better to fold the hand instead of getting into trouble. Open for standard, just over min raise with the king queen. You take the pot down, so that's nice. Again, just skipping ahead to some relevant hands that could be playable. We have 5s in the big blind. Obviously, under the gun raise and reship. Can't play the 5s. Fortunately, we would have flopped a set, busted them both. But we're not trying to get our money in that bad. Because this player's not busted them both, but we crippled this guy. But we obviously can't play 5s there.